Hello and welcome back to the course Private Pilot Maneuvers. Today we'll talk about another very nice but also pretty difficult coordination maneuver, the Lazy 8. The Lazy 8 requires quite some substantial skill in airplane coordination to get it right, so that's why it is of course a very nice practice maneuver. Now the Lazy 8 is actually very similar to S-turns along a road, but with some added complexity. Now to fly it correctly and also to be able to judge if it was flown correctly, you should pick a straight reference line on the ground, maybe a road. And this is a maneuver where actually flight control pressures are never constant. So you are working and adjusting flight controls all the time. So if you really manage to fly this maneuver correctly, then you have a very good understanding of coordinated flight actually. Now you start the maneuver at the sufficient altitude, of course, after you have cleared the area for traffic. And you start it normally at maneuvering speed in level flight, just when you cross that reference line on the ground. Then you start to pitch up and increase your bank, so that after 45 degrees of the turn you have reached the maximum pitch-up attitude and a bank angle of approximately 15 degrees. Now here at the beginning you have to be careful to really use a slow rate of roll, because as you are decreasing the airspeed, the rate of turn will increase, so it can easily happen that you reach the 45-degree point before you have reached maximum pitch-up attitude. So just be careful here to slowly roll into the turn. And then you continue to the 90-degree point, that's the point C in the image, where the bank should have reached 30 degrees. The speed should be minimum, the maximum altitude should have been reached, and the pitch attitude is level again. So in the first 45 degrees, you increase the pitch attitude to the maximum, and then you start reducing it again so that the pitch is at the horizon again at point C, so after 90 degrees. And then at this point, do not hesitate, but directly continue the maneuver. Start to descend. So start getting the nose down so that at the 135-degree point, you reach the maximum pitch down attitude and a bank angle of 15 degrees again. And then when you're crossing your reference line at the 180-degree point, you should be in level flight again at the same altitude that you originally started with, and at also the same airspeed. And then the second part is just the same as the first part. It's just that you're turning in another direction. So be aware that you will really need the rudder during this maneuver because of the turning, but also because of the propeller effects that are different or that are stronger or weaker depending on your position in the maneuver. So this, sounds pretty tricky at first, and it's also pretty difficult in the airplane to get this right. So if you can manage to do that, you really have a good understanding of coordination. But don't worry if you need a few times until you get the hang of it. That's completely normal. I'd say we'll just simply try it out a few times, so I'll meet you in the airplane.